live. Okay, I can still see schedule. So, okay. So I think we started. So, good afternoon once again, everybody, and welcome to another new series on hashtag Climate Wednesday. So this month we'll be doing the hashtag waste management, and here with me is one of the most profound innovators of our time called Adejoke Lasisi. And I would like her to introduce herself as we talk about waste to wealth, the potential source for economic growth. So I would like to call on Lasisi Adejoke. Oh, sorry, my name is Abikori Abimbola, and I'll be your host for today. Here with me is Adejoke Lasisi. So please, Ma, can you introduce yourself to our guests?
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me this program. My name is Adejoke Lasisi, and I'm the founder and creative director of Planet 3R from Ibadan, Oyo State, Nigeria. Yes.
Yeah, welcome all the way from Ibadan, because I heard
Thank
so much
you.
about Ibadan. Well, I've been to Ibadan like 2 times, and I've eaten that amala they used to talk about.
Yes, so amala we do.
I see.
Yes,
Ibadan is a
yes,
beautiful
yes,
place,
yes.
and I love to visit that. I love to visit that often, and also stop by at your place. So to kickstart, I would like to ask a few questions so that our viewers can get to learn about what you do, how you do what you do, and how they can also tap into the space to help elevate their skills, or upskill their skills, and also elevate unemployment rates amongst young people, tapping into the most pressing challenges of our time. So as we all know, waste is a problem, particularly in populated countries and cities like ours. Well, I'm from Lagos, so waste has been a problem and it's a trending issue of our time, and everybody's working towards how can we reduce waste, how can we make sure the environment is healthy, how can we make sure our environment is clean, how can we make sure that we do not have untold diseases that people don't know about as a result of waste. So I'd like to ask you, in your opinion, based on your years of experience as the founder of Planet 3R, or before then, what is your own definition of waste? What is your own concept about waste?
Well, before Planet 3R, I just see waste as waste. Like I feel, to me, I thought nothing meaningful can come out of whatever they call waste. That is already waste, is like wasted. So when they say something is a waste, so I don't even think about like there's something that will come out of it. So it that as in then, no, it didn't follow occur to me. Like I just see waste as waste, ó ti waste nìyẹn. So that was then before my mindset now changed to the fact that no, waste is no longer waste. That I now see waste as raw materials. So I feel like since these raw materials are available, that you can do anything from it. Like I see it as an opportunity to create anything from scratch. Like there's no limitation to what you can create from waste. That's just what I see there. Yes.
Okay,
Now,
so please, can you, in your own terms, can you define what waste is? We know that waste now, you see waste differently because you've been able to tap into its potentials. So what would you say waste is? Like, define waste for us. What is waste?
well, in my own definition, I'll just say that waste can create opportunities. Like I just see that waste is like raw materials. That's just me. I see it, since you can use it to create things. So I see it as raw materials.
Okay. Okay, so waste is raw materials to which that helped you in so many ways that we're going to explore those different ways that this waste that you now
Yes,
see as raw materials has helped you with.
yes, yes,
And
yes, yes.
through the same waste, it has helped you establish a whole lot of other things that you never imagined that you could
Of
probably
course, yes.
do before you realize that this thing is not actually waste. So
Yes.
I want to ask, can one benefit financially from waste to wealth initiative? We know that
Ah,
it's one thing to have an idea about something. It's another thing to create a business out of it. And it is
Mm-hmm.
another thing to have a return of investment. So,
Yes.
and one create wealth from waste to
Ah.
wealth initiative and can
Yes. Oh.
financially uplift someone. So share more light
Yes.
on that.
I'm actually a living example. I would use my own,
Okay.
like it is very, very possible. And one thing about it is the fact that, people even see it as you are helping them. Like, please just come and carry this waste away. Oh, leave me alone, like come and carry this thing. This thing is disturbing me. Like, they're even happy that you want to use this thing that they see as waste. So they just collect it. Oh yeah, they'll just bring it to you. This waste, just come and create something. As in, like when they see that you are creating something from it. And there's one thing that they told us. There was this hackathon that we did a few weeks ago. So in circular economy, we were taught about that three things when you are doing when you have organization or business. There are three things that you need to understand. You need to make sure that you care about people, the planet, prosperity or profits. So like, so if
Okay.
all these things, like if you are doing something, if you have passion for something, and is not making impact, positive impact on people, is not making positive impact on
Yeah.
planet, and is not profitable,
Yeah.
honestly, it might not really be
It's a
okay.
waste of
It's not going to
time.
be sustainable, yes. Because even when by the time you
Mm.
have that kind of passion and you keep working on it, by the time that thing you are not making money or profit from it, you will get tired of doing
Mm.
it, because it's not going to be sustainable. You can't do it over time because of the profit, or yes, that is not there. So it is
Hmm.
very, very, it is I feel, I tell people that no, this is the skill that, because that way sometimes is like even if you pay on it, it's like almost free.
Hmm.
I told you now that waste is raw materials, and those raw
Yes.
materials are like somehow free.
Yes.
So by the time you now convert it into beautiful something and you now sell it, now imagine the kind of profit you make from it.
Profit you make from it. Yes, because
Yes.
many times when we have business ideas or we have businesses that we want to venture into, we first start looking for
Mm-hmm.
capital to get what we need. Then before we now start saying, okay, we want to sell to our targeted audience, we now add the we'll make sure that we have both our money for capital and that of profit. But looking at what you said just now, there are things that we can find around, and there are things that we don't even need capital or seed funding to help start off,
Honestly,
and we can make
yes.
profit. So, moving to the next question, do you think that these waste materials that we see, yes, everybody's talking about waste to wealth, and through
Okay.
this session, we will begin to understand and get more insights about how we can tap into waste to wealth and how waste to wealth initiative can actually help us financially, and how we can get a whole lot of money from these initiatives to help maybe as a second source of income or as a main source of income, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to ask, we know that this is what this provides for us, but are there other implications to harnessing these raw resources that is called waste? Are there implications on productivity? Are there implications on the economy or the likes?
Yes, like these wastes, like if
Okay.
they are not being properly recycled, like this, according to Global Waste Index, I think was it 2019 or 2020. So they said that Nigeria generates over 62 million tons of waste in a year, and less than 10% is being recycled. So where do other ones go to? Like
Go
probably
to.
landfill, they just go into the water and stuff like that. So I feel this waste, if they are not properly managed, and the implication they can have on probably people is that, because when we started initially, I was when you start something, people will be like, so people will be like, they'll be skeptical about it. What is this waste? Me, I will wear waste. Me, I will use this. So we started like sensitizing them. We even had to like come up with a customer um, discovery. So we're able to do about call about 20 or up to like 20 customers, potential customers. So when we did that call, we were able to understand what they really want and like what they are scared of. They are scared of the fact that, okay, this thing, when you create it, will it not have implication on our health, on our hygiene? Is it clean enough? Is it safe? So all those questions actually now help us to know what is on their mind, so that we will not make those products and we will not be the one to be using everything. Like I said, you cannot just be making beautiful product and be keeping it in your house, everything. You
Yeah,
can't be using, you can't use 10 bags at the same time. You can't use 20 clothes at the same time.
definitely.
Yes.
Yes.
So you need to make sure that there's market for it. Like you have people that will use it. And for you to now get those people, you need to understand them. You need to make sure that you now do what is in their mind. By the time you create what is in their mind, it will just be as if, wow, 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 wow. You know, they will be so happy that this is what they've been imagining. This is what they really want. So they will definitely pay for it. So during those engagement, the discovery, it now helped us in understanding what they really want. So we started disinfecting most of all this nylon. We now even how to like get someone in Lagos. They have this research center whereby they can help you to check whether this level of this thing is safe, our waste. So that we are still working on that. So that when we get certified on that, it will now encourage so many people who will be like, okay, this
This
thing,
is hygienic enough.
yeah. So all these their doubts will now be like, there's no doubt on this thing again. They've done their homework. So those
Yes,
implications we are trying to like make sure that
cover
we
them up.
limit. Yeah. So that is what we've been doing so far.
So that's really a really. I used to think once people just get this waste, particularly those who use them for other sort of businesses, I just when they get this thing, when they wash it, it ends there. I didn't even know that they have to go the extra mile of disinfecting all of these things.
Yes,
And
we do. We
I
do
can
that. We
say
do.
that
Yes.
this is really a cool thing, at least because
Thank you.
for this part of our world, we know that waste is a very big issue. And once people buy a product, once they finish using it, they just feel there is no need for it anymore. They just dump it, or they just throw it away,
Mm-hmm.
or they dispose of it. And they cannot imagine the fact that somebody will have to create something out of it, particularly when it has to do with waste, because
See
everybody's
now.
particularly
See pure water nylon
about,
now.
yes, I can even see
Mm-hmm.
your earrings, so it's really cool.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yes.
people always like they're always scared, and it's good that people are listening to this conversation, or they are with us in this conversation, so that they can help spread more awareness about, okay, these things are not just things that we just make. There are processes to making sure that this thing is actually beneficial for the customers who are going to consume this product. So I say kudos to you. So to the next
Thank
question,
you.
we know that everything in our environment helps us as humans, be it
Yes.
the air that we breathe, be it the water that we drink, be it the food that we eat. Everything is rooted in our environment, because our environment provides all of this from us, and we as
Yes.
humans tend to nurture and cultivate all these things. And we know that every single thing that grows on land, below the sea, above, they have economic benefits to
Yes.
the nation at large. So now what I want to ask is, waste is also something that actually contributes to, in a negative way, that can help um, create, will I say, create a hole in the economy, as it were, because when we have too much of waste, we have it begins
To
to
have
destroy
adverse
things
effects on our, yes.
exactly on our
Yes.
environment. So now,
Yes.
how do we ensure that raw materials are used efficiently? Because it's one thing to use these waste materials, it's another thing to use it to optimize it. So how do we efficiently use these materials to help boost the economy?
Well, one thing that I've realized in the space of few months that we started this business is that I believe that if our waste is well properly managed, like we
Mm-hmm.
use them very well, it's going to unlock a lot of potentials in
Yeah.
our community, in our state, nation at large, and even our continent. So I believe that with this, we can empower more young people, because
Okay.
it's not just about us packing all these waste now and going to dump them somewhere or something, but for the fact that we can use them to create something new, and not just something new now, something that will even create export opportunities, because we've been able to send some of our products abroad. So like getting paid in dollars and
Yeah.
change that money back. So like
uh Please come and employ
so
me. Oh.
so it's something that will create opportunities for a lot of people, because it's not
Yeah,
something I can do by myself again. Fine, the idea might
definitely.
come just by, but later on, I could not do it by myself. I started employing people, we started empowering people. So, like, these people too will go to their environments, because one thing that I realized that in the space of 5 years, I told myself, I said, we would have created a lot of impact by impacting millions of lives, because this thing is replicable in like every other place, the idea. And almost everybody can relate to this, because almost everywhere you go in Africa, in Nigeria, you see waste. Fine, you might not
Mm,
have it in your estate or something, but go to market, you see it there. So
definitely.
all these things, and you will definitely go to a place that there's waste. So once you go to that kind of place, so for us to really make this change, the change that we want to see, especially to achieve our vision, which is to create a sustainable world without textile and plastic waste. So we alone cannot do it. All we need to do now is,
Yes.
okay, let us empower more people in different locations, different communities. If we have clusters of people that are working the same way that we do in their community as well, by the time they do all these things together, and when we now have different materials like that, fine, they might not be able to produce these woven materials into finished products. What they need to
Mm-hmm.
do, probably they might sell it to us. That could be business
Yeah.
to business now. We will now
Mm-hmm.
transform them into products,
Into
then we
products.
sell them to consumers. So by the time we have clusters of people doing this, as in, like, even Nigeria Export Promotion Council want to work with us at large, like, okay, these people are building this thing in volume. So before you know it, you will not see any waste outside again, because almost everybody is working with it. And we can
Yes.
create something meaningful out of it. So
Out of it.
yes. So I believe that it's something that it can really, really be achievable if we work on it, and probably with the help of individuals and government as well.
Yes. Okay, so now
Yes.
in on the government part, oh sorry,
Okay.
talking about the
Okay.
government.
Uh-huh.
Because I'm already getting so interested in this that I'm already beginning to lose my some of the questions some of the questions I'm supposed to be asking you, because I'm super interested in everything that you've said. And truth be told,
Thank you.
we have lots and lots of communities, and in a way we say overpopulation, but converting waste into wealth is actually something that will benefit us,
Yes,
because we
that's
have the
like a market. Yes,
population.
we have a market. Yes.
Exactly. So we
Yes.
have the population. Definitely, as we have the population, there is high demand, and people tend to use products and
Mm-hmm.
dump them or make them. So if we have things like this, it's actually more opportunities for in waste to wealth initiative to leverage on
Yes.
this particular period that people are overpopulated, and they use products that they use a lot of products, and it
Mm-hmm.
constitutes a whole lot of waste. But then we cannot
Yes.
pray for such, because we still have to deal with some of all these things. So talking about the government,
Okay.
do you think that the government have, yes, we know that the government have a role to play in making sure we have a sustainable environment, putting
Yes,
laws
they
and
do.
enforcement in place, putting policies in place. So what is the role of the government in supporting movements or initiatives like yours and others that are into this waste to wealth kind of initiative? What do you think that what role should the government play in pushing such enterprises to the forefront?
So, like, most of the time, like, I believe that um, like, government has a major role to play, because um, normally they always say that all waste belongs to governments. Do you know that?
Ah, it's the first time
That
I'm hearing that.
yes,
So please explain.
yes.
Okay.
Because yes, we're told that
Wow.
all the waste belongs to government. You don't have the right to take someone's waste again. And most of the time, when you want to collect waste, it's always good to have a record of collecting waste, because some people might go and steal some people's clothes on the wire and say that, okay, they want to come and sell it to you. Because
As if
honestly, no,
product
so many things can happen. One need to be very, very careful.
careful.
So some waste can cause a lot of problems. So people are not the owner of those things, and they will come to you that they want to give it to you or sell it to you, just because, okay, oh, you need waste, and at the end of the day, it might now lead to so many problem and everything. So, like, normally government is the owner of wastes, and that is why,
Wow.
where majorly, like, government pack these wastes, we as a person, like individuals or organizations, we try to, like, collaborate with government agency, like probably waste management organizations, so that in a way that they will help us separate this thing. And if individuals too, if government can sensitize, can do more of sensitization for a way that individuals can segregate their wastes, so that the ones that are recyclable will be somewhere, the ones that are non-recyclable will be somewhere, so that when packing all these things, they don't just pack everything together and just like pack them into incinerator like that. So they like group them into like, okay, this one is the ones that will give to the waste management people. These ones are the ones that will give to all these recyclable people. Do you understand? So people can
Yes, I
understand more
do.
about that. Then the government policy too should be very, very it should be easy for people to like, especially getting license. You know, there's a license. You know, there's this license that from the Ministry of Environment that
Okay.
one should take as if you're working for in waste sector, so that when you get this license, it will help you to like take waste without any problem. Because if they see you taking any waste without the license or without the owners of the waste permission, it may
Yeah.
cause issue. You might take
Problem.
something now and someone said that, okay, it's their thing, that you stole it. You understand? And you
Hmm.
cannot even like, you don't have license to take all those wastes. So what
Wait.
will you now tell government? So one can really, really run. So one needs to like understand. And I believe that if government can get involved very well, governments have a lot of resources at hand to really help make this possible, to make us achieve this a place, as in like a planet without waste, and all these our
Wait.
land will be clean and everything. But governments really need a lot to do and work with this our small organizations, so that it will help boost us. And even if it's possible too, they can fund us. We need money so that we
Ah,
can have more of collection centers. We can have a bigger space where we empower people. So all those things, it is very, it is key, like for government to work in hand with individuals, so that we can
yeah.
achieve this. Yes, the clean environment that we want to get. Yes.
Yes. So, I've listened to everything that you've said so far, and I must say that I'm inspired by everything that you just laid out. And
Thank
see,
you.
if you don't ask, you would never know. And if you don't seek, you will never find. So I think
Yeah.
that this is really a good initiative that ICCD has put together to help us learn about the most pressing issue, the most pressing environmental issue of our time, which is waste. And because we are in a strategic position, like I always call, um, um, aside being a Lagosian or from Ibadan, Nigeria is actually a populated nation, like I've said before. And it's
Yes.
quite cool that we have people like you having to do things like this to show other people that these things can actually be reused, and the mentality about waste being just waste is actually not a waste. So I would just a quick one. So dear viewers, yes, we're still live at the Climate Wednesday, hashtag Climate Wednesday, hashtag waste, topic waste to wealth, a potential resource for economic growth. And we still have Adejoke Lasisi from Planet 3 Hour as our guest for today. And I hope you guys are learning as much as you're enjoying this session, because I am enjoying the session and I've learned a whole lot. So back to you. So I would like to ask, we want to go into details about your work. So
Okay.
I can see that you're very, well, you'll be excited. You're excited sharing about what you do and how you do what you do. So we would
Yes.
like you to give us more details about your work. So
Okay.
how do you do what you do? Like, where did the inspiration come out from first? I know you've mentioned that you always used to think differently about waste until now that you rethink waste materials as resourceful materials. So how did you get inspired to start up with what you're doing? What was
Okay.
the journey like? I just want to hear your story. I want other people to
Okay.
be inspired by what
Thank
you have to
you. Thank
say,
you.
so that they can be motivated to do more. So I
All
think I
right.
want to have that first.
Okay. Thank you so much for that question. So when I was little, I usually do not like seeing waste around me, like just dumping on this thing. I just pick them, pack them. But as at that time, I only see them as waste, like just waste. You know, like I didn't it didn't occur to me that we could create something, like something meaningful from it. So we just throw it away like every other people and just pour it in the sometimes because we didn't even have proper waste management system in my area. So sometimes we'll pack it somewhere and just burn it. Just do not accommodate, do not see me.
CO2, CO2, CO2,
No, no,
CO2.
I'm sure that some people can relate to this thing that I'm saying.
I
So
can relate. Don't worry, I can relate.
Thank you. So we just pack it somewhere and just burn it. But all we just want at that time is that we don't want our environment to be dirty.
Yeah.
Not thinking about the implication it might have in our environment, in our health. We just want to pack all these things, and we don't want dirt in our place. We just burn them. So, but at that time, we are happy that it is clean. Not thinking of another way to like probably dispose this thing, and we don't even have this thing that we packing the waste for us. You will come and pack it. Pack it from where? It's all these people that stay in Igboro, that stay in town, that have things that will come and pack it for them. So
pack it for them.
So when I at age 9, my mom is Ashoke. So I
No
started weaving Ashoke very
wonder.
well at age 9. So I always help her whenever I come back from school. I'll just weave Ashoke. Weekends like this, always busy with Ashoke. Then I'll be like, what kind of wala is this? What kind of problem is this? That every time it's weaving Ashoke. I was telling myself, I wish my parents, my mom was actually doing government job so that I would not have been doing anything. Like we just go home. I see all of my friends, all of my friends, like they don't have to like do anything by the weekend. For me, me, I weep. So
But it's paying now.
yeah, so it's paying. Oh yes. But it was not. I didn't like it then that much. I always like, although I love doing something, creating something with my hand and everything. Maybe it was because of the Ashoke that I do there. But sometimes I would like, the omekere in me, the child in me. The child in me will want to like play, go out and just play around, like
with
just
your
don't
pets.
do anything. Exactly. Thank you. For me, I'll be weaving. So later on, I went to university. I graduated from the university then. When I now came back from my service, I could not set up in Abuja. I did my youth service in Abuja, but what Abuja one was just I could not afford a shop there because of the
Because
expense, the
Abuja is
cost of
very expensive, but it's
yes,
still
yes,
expensive.
the living standard is just too high for my size.
High.
It's high for my size. So I just packed my bag. Kangara, let me go back to my
Left
father's house. So
Ibadan.
thank you. So I came back to Ibadan. Jejely that. I was like, I can be doing something from here too now. It's not compulsory. Let me just do it somewhere. So when I started business, I started Ashoke business. So can you see this side now is Ashoke. This
Yes,
side is Ashoke.
I can see it.
Then
I'm
this
coming
part
to
is
collect
nylon.
it soon. Thank you.
So this part is nylon. So I started Ashoke business. I was trying to leverage on social media. I was trying to use my
Okay.
Facebook because I have friends on Facebook. They will tell me that your work is nice, your this is nice. Even that's for people that will try to tell me, I do not have customer. They will not come and do it from me. They would rather go to big brands.
Outside,
They will go to
yes.
big brands.
That's one of the
And
problems that we're facing too.
and it's not their fault because that's where me too, I think, as a person. I think we just need to change that orientation. Like most of the time we just want to like,
Mentality.
I want to use Gucci, I want to use Kinikan, they will not go for the big brands. They will just leave me in Ibadan here. They'll be like, Kilo my Ibadan mo. Like what the Ibadan girl no. So
Yeah.
they will go and do it there. I was not having customers. Sometimes if I have one customer in 2 months, I'll be so happy. I will not
Wow.
be taking. I will not take with my Java phone. I was using a Java phone there, so I will not take my Java phone. I will take picture from this side today. I'll post it. Picture from this side. So I will not be the same cloth though, because since I did not get more
Customers. So
customers,
there's no
yes.
point producing more.
Which more? So which money will I use to do that? Me that I'll just try to manage myself. So to even sustain myself there, I have photography skills, so I started taking pictures. I would go
Okay.
to events where they are doing events. You do good. Sometimes I would take picture like this. Before I come back from lab, they would have gone home. Sometimes if I
Wow.
meet them there like this, they will just be like, they will now they start pricing the photo for 400 naira. All these things actually built like this thing. So later on,
Resilience.
I started having customers small, but wasn't still good enough. So later, I now sat down. I was like, okay, what do I need to do differently? What do I have that other 𝙎𝙬𝙧𝙚 sellers
People don't have.
don't have? So I now say that okay, I know how to do this thing very well. If you tap me when I'm sleeping, I can weave. I can weave at any time. Let me just um form a weaving school whereby I can train people, empower people with this thing. So when I started doing that, I now started realizing that okay, when people just come, people will now be like, ah, since she can weave 𝙎𝙬𝙧𝙚, she can do our work better. They now started giving me job. Like I started getting work through that. So I always encourage people like just look inward and see what you are really
You
best
have.
at, like other people don't
Nobody
have,
does.
and leverage on that. Do you know
Mm.
that other people that were selling 𝙎𝙬𝙧𝙚 that my friends, like some people used to go and buy from them, they will now come to me that I
To
should weave for
weave
them. They will now design it.
and read and
So
retell.
in a way, me, I shall make my own money. So
Yeah.
like, later on when I was not doing, like I was okay, I think I'm doing well in it. But I was like, okay, what can we do? Our environment, how can I use what I have, my impact? As in, like, I know how to weave very well. And one of the things where I always tell people that, what are you very good at? As in, like, you are so good at that you
Nobody else
can
will
do
be
at any
good
time.
at it.
Yes, so that means that thing, if you find a way, you can use it to make impact in the community. So like weaving, this is what I'm good at. I'm very good at weaving. How can I use, how can I make use of this weaving to create all this solution to the problem that we have on our environment, all these wastes? And this thing, I was really, this motivation came when the area where I stay is a rural area. We don't have system as like proper waste management system. Kò sí
Them.
rárá ni o. We
There
don't
is
have.
none at all.
So people just pack their waste. Once they see that it's raining like this, they just pour it inside the drainage. That water should carry
She
it, and it
flushes
will not
out.
carry it. It will stand somewhere.
Yeah, rather
They will
it's a
pour it there.
clog.
Some people will burn it. Some people will
Yeah.
pack all their used clothes, the clothes that no longer wear it, that is tall. They will pack everything and burn it. So I was like, okay, how can this thing? Is there no other way? Is there no other solution that I can use what I have, the skill? And that's what we started weaving those things. Initially, it didn't come out very well at first. It didn't come out very well. There were a lot of mistakes. We're putting it down, try and error. Okay, we cut it into 4 here. Okay, let us try and cut it into 6. If we cut it into 6, maybe it's going to be better. Okay, let us try and cut it to 8. So we're keeping details like, okay, this is the result of this is the result of this. So eventually, we now got results. But before that, let me now gist you the small part that I feel that it will really help some people out there that probably are still facing the same challenges.
Same
So when I was
challenges.
doing it, yes, when I was doing it and the result wasn't coming, I just told myself no, that I'm not going to give up. That I feel this thing will work. But my number one support system, my mom, which we are so close, especially with the fact that I learned 𝙎𝙬𝙧𝙚 through her under her supervision. So anytime she just comes to my place of work, she just be like, Joke, don't waste time, Are. Joke, you are wasting your time. Can you only work? That the way she's saying these things will not work. Sometimes I want to feel discouraged. I just be like, no, no, no. That I'll tell my wife, I will say, Mommy, I'm not worried, this will work. By the time that thing now came out very fine, my mom like, yes, this is it. Yes, this is it. Ele dog, like, I was like, if I'd stop, so many people would
You
tell
wouldn't have
you,
seen
and
this.
yes, and it's not because they don't love you, but they don't want you to fail. They are scared of how you will get up back when you fail. They love you too much that they don't want you to make mistake, and they don't know that mistake is actually part of it. As in, I always tell
Exactly.
people that failure is part of success. It is part of it.
Yes.
You just
It's
have
a
to keep
learning
doing it,
ground.
now. So, as in, like, she now started advocating that when she now see people, she be like, hey, ma da nylon, Joke ma lo nylon. You see, like, don't throw away that nylon. Joke will use it, oh, hey, ma Junu, Joke will use it, oh. As in, imagine the person that did not support at first. And honestly, the only way you can show people that you can do something is through results. When they
Yes.
see results, you don't have to like keep arguing with them and telling them that you can do it and without showing
Yes.
anything. Results, show results. That is just it. That is just the story
Mm.
behind, and we started Planet 3R. And yes, to the glory of God, we've been able to make impact in the community. We train people, we've employed, we've won awards, especially 2020, won a couple of awards for
Mm.
this thing. Yes, we even won a national MSME award, overall award in Nigeria. we're giving a brand new car. We're
Yes,
giving.
I saw it. I followed the news. So yes, I've heard from Adejoke Lasisi, who has just shared a story of how she has been able to work towards converting waste into wealth. And she's telling you to give that idea an opportunity because people
Yes.
only want to see results. No matter what you've gone through, or no matter what you're going through, people want to see results. And there's always an avenue for trial and error, particularly when it has to do with waste, because it's something that people don't know about, people don't want to associate
Yes.
with. But then there are lots and lots of innovative ideas that people have and they are beginning to try it. So when you see somebody doing stuff, you support them. And also she has shared that she has made a whole lot of impact in people's lives. She has empowered people with these skills, and she's excited because all of what she has thought about in terms of this idea has worked out and that has gone beyond our imagination. So it has, I would like to say that I know you've equally would have mentioned this while you were telling your story, but I would just like to I want you to make emphasis on it. So how has this business helped other people that you've empowered build resilience and adapt to their environment? Because you've
Okay.
shared your story now, and I'm sure that aside your mom, there are a whole lot of other people who might have said a lot of nasty things, might have said, oh, she can do this, she can do that, blah, 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 blah. So how has these skills that you've given to others, how has it helped them build resilience and adapt to their community?
Thank you so much. One of the things that I always do is that when I train people, I don't just train them in these skills only. I try to also empower them with entrepreneurial mindsets, entrepreneurship
Mm,
skills, trying to know more. I let them understand about creativity and innovation because one of the things that will really help is for you to be innovative, like create something very unique. So when you just teach them something and you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, people even get tired, people get bored.
yeah,
But when you
yeah,
make sure that you train their brain to know that, okay, they can be creative, they can do different things, they don't have to do the same thing over again. Because when you are looking for different results, you have to do things different ways. So make sure that, so I try to, and to the glory of God, I've been seeing, like, some of them that even empower, like in these skills, it's not say that they are doing these skills. Some of them are not doing this particular one right now, but the ones they are doing very fine, and they are being conscious of the environment in what they do. And at the same time, the soft skills as well is helping them in the things that they do. And like I said earlier, even now at the moment, the training is going on. We just completed. We are still doing it. Today is day 3 out of 2 weeks. You can see the banner behind me. is
yeah.
the is the one of is the training that we are doing. So we are currently training first batch of 15 participants, youths. So whereby they are going to, so we are empowering them on this environmental and how they can convert their waste to and make something meaningful in their
Out of
society
it.
as well. So it's something that, I believe that if they to pay it forward, and some of the people that we've trained before now, they now have students. So which is very, very good. Like they will pay for their students who maybe one or two of them.
Yeah,
Because
would
honestly,
keep going that way.
you can't expect everybody to go the same way. You can't expect everybody that you
Definitely,
train to stay. Some people get tired along
definitely.
the line. Some people don't
Yeah.
have passion for some things. Some people
Yes,
just
they
get
don't.
discouraged. Some things happen. So, but at least few of the people that you train, if they can just like do it, then it's something for you. Even you'll be proud of them. Like like you'll be bragging now that those
Ah,
people like they
you're my
they came
student.
through by training. Yes, now. So even you'll be happy that, okay, this people that you train, I received a call yesterday. Now I have this YouTube channel whereby I train people on how to like get funding because of some
Okay.
opportunity I got. So I try to use my story to share to them. And so sometimes I want to feel get discouraged, like they are not even, some people will not even comment. I will not know if they are seeing it. I will not know if they like my content. I will see some people, they will put like, some people will not say anything. And I will be seeing like 200 views, 500 views without any comments. So later, I received 2 calls yesterday and one last week. Like two of them said, thank you for all you do. Do you know that they've been shortlisted? They'll be going for pitching tomorrow. So there are two of them, like from the posts and how to like apply for that store for my YouTube, and they've shortlisted them for that. And that grant now, if they win it, is 1 million naira for
Mm,
their business. So I was very happy, like, thank God for this,
Somebody's
that means that
watching.
it's working. So,
Yeah.
sometimes you might not see the big results. You might not even see millions of people viewing it. And honestly, sometimes you don't need millions. You just need someone. You just need someone to get that. And I always tell people that you don't need everybody to believe in you. You just need one
Definitely.
person sometimes that will just believe that, no, you can do it. And that is all you need. Honestly. So that's just it.
Well, I've learned a whole lot. I've heard a whole lot. And I think that I'm beginning to rethink a whole lot of things. And I'm sure our viewers too have learned a whole lot, and we are jotting things down to, even if it is not about or if you're not even in the waste wealth sector, you can adapt some of all these things and re-strategize or remodel any of the solutions that you have, or even if it's just being inspired and keep moving on, because I know many of us get stuck at some point and we just need to hear somebody's story to help push us forward, and yours is a beautiful one. Okay, so I
Thank
would like
you.
to ask you, you're welcome. So I'd like to ask you, you've said a whole lot of things. You've learned from failure. You've told people not to give up. You've told us that waste materials are not just waste materials. They're actually resourceful materials that you can use. They are raw materials that you can use, that you need no capital to harness. You've also told us to be innovative about our thinking. If you have solutions, we should be innovative about it, and also we should seek for opportunities and
Yes.
learn from people, as well as we impact other people. Because it's one thing to have all of this knowledge. It's another thing to pass it on to other people so that they can expand and expand. So I'd like to ask you, what would be your advice to young people out there? Many people have issues. Like, a lot of young people are into this sector. A lot of people have this initiative, and it has not been easy, because it's not easy doing something like this, or running a social enterprise is a different ballgame entirely. How do you get your audience? You have to think of how to get funding. If you don't have funding, you have to think of how to get people. You have to think of a whole lot of things put together. So what would be your advice to young people?
Well, thank you for that question. My advice to young people, one of the things that I would say that helped me a lot, and helped me connecting with some people. I volunteer in some organizations. So during my volunteering days, I was able to gain some experience. So when you try to like work with people and understand more, some of the things that I see in young people these days is that majority are not skillful in what they do. They don't even know it very well, and they feel the only problem they have is money. Honestly, some people's problem is not money. It is not money at all. But they lack the idea. They like what they can do. Some people, some people don't even know where they are going to. They are just in the business because they see someone that is doing it. They see
Doing
that
it.
someone fine. It can motivate you to want to do something because someone is doing fine in that field. But have you checked yourself? Do you really know that skill? Some people just jump into things because they have small money, and they jump into it and they get frustrated and they be like, okay, it's not working well, it's not this. They don't want to learn, they don't want to like ask questions, they don't want to be mentored by someone. So people just want to like do things on their own way. And one other thing that I realized is that um one thing that have helped me so far, and that I always encourage people to do, is collaboration. Is very, very important. Collaboration is very important. If you see someone that is doing fine and you feel like there's a way you can find you can partner with them or collaborate with them and make life even easy for them, because everything has to be win-win. Relationship in life, you can't be saying that, okay, you want to get from all that person and they are not
And
getting
not
anything
give.
from you. Who will now do that? So they will make they want to, you guys must be giving something too. So probably you know
Yes.
that, okay, there's something that you can give to them in their program. Volunteer to do it. Volunteer to do it. If you volunteer to do it, during that period, they will get to know what you are good at. They will get to understand your skill. So, but for some people, they're not even sure what they are good at because they will not speak up. And they always say that a closed mouth is a closed destiny. You don't know what some people are good at doing. So, because how will you even know? Because they will say that they don't have experience. They don't have experience. How will you get experience when you're not even willing to
Make
volunteer,
efforts
to
or
even show those
collaborate.
skills that you have? And one thing is that if you work with an organization, as in, I bet, it's just that if they need anybody in that your field, what you do, they will call you first.
Yeah.
They will call you first before an outsider, because they've seen what you do. But many of us, we are just money oriented. We don't want to put some things first. Honestly, that is one thing I've realized about. Me too, I'm a youth now. So I know when, as like, when I talk to them, when I talk to some youth, I'll be like, God, the only thing that they feel like is money. But the idea is not even there. The experience is not there. And how will you get experience? How will you know that? How will you let people know that you know what you are doing? That you really know how to do that thing? It's by showing it. How will you show it? You need a platform. You need a platform to show that, okay, you can do this thing.
This is what I do.
Yes. And some platform will not come until you go out there and say, okay, I can do this thing. Just let me show it for you. You don't have to talk about money first. Fine, I know that, okay, we need to sustain ourselves and everything, but there are some things that you need to put first. And before you know it, they will start calling you for opportunity. Even if they want to do something, they will not pay. Even if they now want to do something that will require giving money, they will call you first. First, before they call the people that do not join them.
Any other person, an outsider.
Yes. So it's very good. Like some things too now that helped me again is that, okay, I was able to like talk to some people. I tagged them, other environmental this thing, that they see what we do, and they like it, and they were like, okay, let us do this live Instagram session together. You know, through that, their own what was it called? Their own followers, they get to know about us.
Yes.
And they get to like see what they through that you get to start. That is the way you just have to like work together. We need to collaborate. That is just the way that will help most of young people. But honestly, money is not just the first problem. It is actually the last one. Yes.
Yes, because I too have realized that many of us, many young people like ourselves, once they want to start out to do anything, they're like, I don't have the money, I don't have the this, I don't have the that. And
when
I'm
you
like,
ask them what have they done, they will not show anything. They cannot show anything.
I'm like, okay, you don't have the funding. Okay, what do you have to give? You don't still have. So why not just tell somebody that you want to volunteer or intern? At least let me intern with you to learn. But the mindset is the money first. But they forget that it's not even about the money. It's about what you have in your head that you want to bring to life. And it's okay to start. Then fundings will come later. And I'm sure that many of us, like yourself and other people doing great things, actually started out without even thinking about the fundings, but thinking about what you had, that, oh, how can I make this visible to people who will buy this stuff? Then the money just kept flowing, because like you said 2020 was the year of awards. The way you said it, I'm like, I wish I was this Adejoke Lasisi. Let me see me saying 2020 was the year of awards. Was the year of awards and money. See the way you're smiling, like I can see the SS, the dollar sign on your head.
He says she can see the banner. So I put banner of money in my head. Oluwa ṣàánú mi o.
I can see it on your head. So you guys have heard it from Adejoke, and it's quite inspiring and fun to have had you on this session.
Thank you.
You guys have heard it, that it's not just about money. It's not just, it's more about the idea that you have and how visible you want people to see that idea, and to what extent you would wish to go to make sure that that idea comes about. And she has also mentioned that it's okay to fail. Is when you fail, you tend to learn, okay, what is it that my shrine that's not working? What can I add to it to make sure it works? And like you said, she always used a particular model. When she does something, she divides it into 6. She keeps a tab of it and says, okay, this is how it came out. When she divides it into 8, she keeps a tab of it. So keeping a tab of everything that does not work, I think will help inform what will eventually work at the end of the day as regards turning waste into wealth. And she has also said that it's not just about taking a particular waste and converting them into wealth. It's also about helping your environment, not just about what you want to gain from the waste that you're taking and leaving all that. It's about making sure that you eliminate all the environmental problems of waste that we are facing at the different levels of our communities. And then I would like to ask my last question. So my last question is, what is your advice to the government? Because we cannot talk about all of these things and not call the government, because the government governs the people, and the government we have placed so much of ourselves in the hands of the government that the government has to provide some certain things for us to make sure that we can all equally coexist with each other. We can learn to respect each other's rights, and also we can learn to live with each other, having equal opportunities. So, what is your advice to the government, and not just the government? We know that our sector is multi-faced. We have the government, we have the international, we have the corporate, we have the not-for-profit. So these other stakeholders, what do you have for them too? So one for the government and the other for the other stakeholders.
Other
So what is your
organizations.
advice to these two set of sectors
Well, my
or
advice to
institutions
government,
rather?
my advice to government is that they should do more, especially in terms of working with us and making sure that okay, this like even if it's possible to put some, I don't know, let's say mandatory, like making sure that people's waste they get segregated. Then and another way again that they should create market opportunity for us. They should help us in taking our products out there, and even like giving us all the tools, the required tools that will make it international standard, so that it will help us sell more out there. And again, another thing that I feel that that government should do for us is that they should be an example. Most of all these products that we make, if they can use it as well, if they too they can make use of it instead of probably going for foreign one, and wear or use some of these products, it will inspire other people, other citizens, like if they can see it on big people or all these government people and something like that, it will inspire them to like want to make use of it, to like since our government are even using it, like what to stop us in using it, or probably subsidize it in a way that everybody can have access to it and buy it. And so I believe that if they can do that, it will really, really, really help us and even get us export opportunities as well. Then for the international institutions, I believe that they can do more in like will I say, helping more NGOs that or businesses that are environmentally friendly in such a way that they can do more in that space and probably empower more people, so that we can achieve that world without waste. That is just what I want to tell them. Yes.
Okay, so the government, you can hear from Adejoke Lasisi. She has said that we need more investments, we need more machines, like heavy investment in technology and machines that can help make these jobs more details to fit or to meet international standards, and also patronize local, because these are products from our own, and we cannot say that we produce things if we don't use them, if we don't wear them. And locally made stuff are actually more durable, and they are long lasting, they're durable.
Mm-hmm.
So, and they are unique in its own way, because there's always an African nature in it. You cannot produce something or produce something from an African country and you will not have that feel of it. You can see the shirt she's wearing. It's an English shirt and it has Africa is unique. Nigeria
Thank
is
you.
unique, and please
Thank
let us
you.
patronize local, because by supporting our local products, can we help boost our economy and also enjoy or appreciate what we produce at our level. And she has said all the processes to making these waste to wealth, and you can see that they take so much effort into producing these things, making sure it is healthy enough, making sure it is quality, and making sure it suits your preference as an individual. So we are we've come to the end of the we've come to the end of this series, and for this month of March, we'll be having the hashtag waste management series. So join us next week as we explore other topics. Today we had the privilege to our graceful Adejoke Lasisi, the owner, founder, CEO, director of Planet 3R, based in Oyo, Ibadan. And we've heard so much from her. She has inspired us. She has told us what to do. She has told us how to overcome our challenges, and she has also taught us how we can have return of investment in things that we do not need capital. And she has also told us that we should portray our ideas more when it has to do with waste to wealth than seeking for fundings first. Because anybody that's seeking for fundings, they give you the fundings what you want to use it to do, and you don't have more to use it for. So thank you very much. We are glad
Thank
that
you.
we are able to make this session even out of your busy schedule. And we hope to
Thank
hear
you.
more of you. And I guess this, bye-bye.
Bye bye. Thanks. Bye.
Bye.